everybody, to another Some Kind of Monkey.
Start over.
Okay. Why is that? Alright, start over. Ready? Welcome, everybody, to another Some Kind of Monkey podcast. Dan, Matt here. How's it going?
Pretty good. Final podcast of the year.
Yeah.
Think start off how we usually start off. This one's pretty easy, though. We are both drinking old style today. Drinking old style, talk about new things.
Yeah.
Works for me. What have you been playing? I know you got the Xbox. So
I got the Xbox, so I'm playing Ghost, Call of Duty Ghost, which I played through the story mode. I find it really fun. You know, I didn't play through on Veteran or anything, but the story.
What difficulty did you start on?
I think just normal. I'm not sure, because I think if you play through on Veteran, you get something special, like a mask or something like that for multiplayer. But so I played through that. I thought the ending was really good. You know, it leads up to a new game, so I'm excited to see that. Like kind of like the Modern Warfare series was, because you know it is made by the same company now. Mm-hmm. Then you have Dead Rising 3 I'm playing. I've been playing through that. Played through a couple story modes of that.
Does it do the same? It's not like timed, like 72-hour mode or whatever.
It is timed, but everything is much more leisure. And like the survivors are a lot more easier to take care of, because you don't have to like escort them back to your safe house. All you have to do is clear the zombies that are out from in front of them, and then they'll do whatever. And if you need to, if they're part of the story mission where you're taking them with you, you can give them weapons and they'll fight better than the other games used to.
Yeah. Well,
they usually take care of themselves more in this new one than they used to.
Yeah. So yeah, Dead Rising 1 was terrible with that. Like they would get hung up on like a very
wall.
obvious, not even a wall. It'd be like, oh, there's a shopping rack here. They can't walk around it for some reason.
Yeah. No, it's. I think it's fun. You know, some people think that it's overblown, but there's just so much to it. Like, I enjoy making crazy weapons and big weapons and stuff like that. Like, they have one that's called the Spirit Fingers, and it's like a bunch of guns, and you're like.
See, that sounds a little bit crazy, but probably awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And then I've been playing Killer Instinct. You know, played a little bit on that online. You know.
God, we used to play the original one so much. We used to have like a notebook with all the combos we made. Like we'd make up like 50 combos and shit. It was crazy.
And then, like, we've been playing together and stuff like that of GTA. That's about it. GTA Online. Yeah. Amazing game. I'm still playing that.
Yeah, I made the one race already that I need to tweak it a little bit. And then I made a death match all kind of centered around the hospital.
And they just came out now with capture flag modes.
Yeah.
3 capture flag modes, which I want to try, because there's a lot of them that sound really cool. There's one where you collect like a bunch of drugs and you have to store them in your warehouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people can come steal them from you or like steal from them. So it's like that. Then there's the central capture flag where there's a flag in the center or an object. Then there's the capture flag where they spawn like cars across the whole city.
And you gotta go steal them. For the Simeon delivery thing. Where you
kind of like that. But it's one team versus another, and you like all have to go out and get these cars, and whoever gets the cars and parks them by their garage or whatever, you know, gets the points.
Yeah. I can't wait to get really more into the content creator, because I think a lot of really cool stuff will come out of that. You know, ideas we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I was actually one of the modes I was thinking. I don't know if you can even do it yet, but I was thinking, you know how there's the triathlon in the game where you run and you swim and you bike? I was thinking you have a different sort of triathlon race where you are racing in a motorcycle, then you get a car, then you get a plane.
That would be cool. Because I would not want to hit the button again. Like, and I know people would make maps that run across the whole goddamn map, and that would suck.
And I want to do like an open in the mountains where the checkpoints are just kind of scattered all over, and there's no real rhyme or reason. It's just however you get to them.
So besides GTA, what else are you playing?
I picked up Assassin's Creed 4 for the Wii U, because I still want to support the Wii U, and we'll get a little bit more into that later, because some new stuff has come out. Having a lot of fun with it. Just getting into the pirate stuff, really. But anytime I go to a city, this is just how I played Assassin's Creed. I gotta go synchronize everything to reveal the whole map, then find everything in that area before I move on. So like
all the jumps.
I really don't I don't really like mainline the story mode. I kind of do everything within an area that I can first, then do the story, move to the next area, max it out, and then do the story. The outside of the Animus thing is kind of lame so far. You're like a person that works at Abstergo Entertainment. Yeah,
which leads into the new game that Ubisoft... Isn't it Ubisoft that makes that game?
Which one?
Well, they make that game, but they're making Watch Dogs. They're supposed to be all connected in the same world.
Oh.
So Abstergo is like one of the companies, and if you walk around in that game outside of the Animus and you listen to people talk, they talk about like their other company in Chicago, which Chicago's based in Watch
Or,
Dogs.
yeah, Watch Dogs.
And then
is
one of the
Chicago.
mini games, if you hack one of the computers in there, hacks like the computer and shows you stuff and like has writings about Watch Dogs, the game and stuff like that. So I hear it's pretty cool and it's a tie-in. So I don't know.
They're not making the Division.
I don't know. I don't know. The Division is really cool looking.
Yeah. Other than that, what have I been playing? Well, I got Knack when I got the free PlayStation 4.
Have you beat it
yet? Yeah, I did beat it on hard. I want to go through and there's, you know, the different sort of Knacks you can build by getting relics, so he's got kind of like different powers. It's kind of nerdy, of course. You know, I want to try to get one of the first platinums on PS4, so I'm thinking if I can clear
Most people already got platinums, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they did. I don't mean the first ever, because, I mean, shit, I have a job. But I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
And what else am I playing? Yeah, a bunch of GTA Online. I just picked up, we were talking about Nintendo, NES Remix just came out like 2 days ago or whatever.
That was talked about a couple days ago at their Nintendo Direct conference.
Yeah.
So they did that. They talked about the new Zelda game.
Which looks kind of like, what is that old?
It's made
like
by
Golden
the same
Axe
company,
or something.
But it's made by the same company who's making Dynasty Warriors, so they just connected the two games and made a Hyrule game.
Yeah, I didn't read anything about it. I just watched the trailer on the Wii.
But they actually call it like Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah. They said it's a working title.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, who knows.
Then they showed the remix of, the NES remix is called, which is what he just bought. And then they did the Smash Brothers new
I didn't
preview,
watch the new Smash Brothers
and they showed them the two new characters.
But they have, you know, had the trailer for that new Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they've had that for a while. That looks
and
cool.
then Yoshi's New Island.
Ooh, you know, I forgot to mention to you too. Besides in the direct thing, they're doing because you know this year was the year of Luigi.
Yeah.
So they're doing Dr. Luigi now.
Yeah, I did see that.
That looks cool.
I was pretty excited about that.
And did you see the pills when they come out? They're in the shape of an L.
Yeah.
So all of them are.
It's like a certain mode, I think, that has the L-shaped pills.
Year of Luigi.
God, we played so much Dr. Mario too. When you get sick of playing Tetris, you'd be like, "Oh, I'll play Dr. Mario."
The best is I still have Dr. Mario on my phone, so I actually play it on there all the time when I'm bored because I have the NES emulator.
Yeah.
So just play Dr. Mario. So good.
Yeah. So I'll probably be getting that.
Yeah, it looked.
I didn't even see if it was out. I just saw NES Remix was on like the front page of the shop, so I was like, download.
Yeah, I don't know when it comes out, but I know they were just talking about
it. And
it's.
I mean, I thought it was only $10. It's $15, but I don't care because like the nostalgia. I mean, really, you're buying it for the nostalgia.
Yeah, and like I got some good stuff in there. I seen the preview of the Donkey Kong level where you get to play as Link instead of Mario. Yeah. So I don't know how good it is if like you get to use to actually shoot out the sword and stuff. That'd be awesome. You get to shoot the fire or the barrels with a sword.
See, and that's the thing about Nintendo. Like, everyone knows the characters. So
yeah,
they're always going to have that market if anything else goes to shit.
Even if it goes to shit and, like, they have to put them games on, and they'll always be a game company because everyone still wants to play those games. But the thing that I can see them doing is to keep the system relevant because a lot of people are saying that it's dying, this and that. They need to push something that is really popular on the other systems, like a Pokemon game or something else, to make people want to buy the Wii U. And I think if they did something like that, like they had a Pokemon game that was similar to the handheld one, people would flaunt this system.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, really, I got the Wii U. Of course, Super Mario. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm always going to want to play the Mario game. Zelda games I've been playing since I was like 6, 7 years old or whatever. I'm always going to want to play those. So that'll be the system seller. But it's tough out there because, you know, of course, they're kind of like the last gen sort of technology now that we got PS4 and Xbox One.
This is still considered their next gen. I mean, it does have the HD, the 1080, stuff like that. That's what the new gen really focused on, besides gameplay and stuff like that, was the graphics. Yeah. So they updated theirs with new graphics and the new gameplay of the controller.
But their new graphics were basically bringing them up to speed with PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Well, yeah, some PlayStation 3 games were still only at 720 and Xbox were at 720. Like, the one with Cole, that was still only 720.
Infamous.
And it's one of their best games. Infamous at 720. I didn't care that the graphics weren't 1080.
Well, I mean, depending on who it is, can you really tell?
No. I mean, yeah. They're upscaled anyways. It says 720, but it's upscaled. So it doesn't. You really can't tell too much. How much can your naked eye really see? That's really what it is.
Yeah, and that's my thing with, when the 4K TVs come out.
Yeah.
I mean, and they'll probably look amazing, and I'm sure at the store they're going to make it look like the coolest thing ever. But who's going to have the 4K it costs to buy a 4K TV?
Exactly. They also announced, though, that their Zelda preview will be coming at E3 for the new game.
Oh.
Not for the Hyrule game, but the game that will be out later.
Oh, so like a proper Zelda game for the Wii?
Yeah, so proper Zelda game for the Wii, the preview, and it's supposed to be hyped for E3. So that'll be good to see.
Nice. What have you been looking at for new games, like for 2014? I'm sure you're not looking at the PlayStation 4. You're probably just looking at Xbox One.
Well, I've been looking at both. I do eventually want to get a PlayStation 4, but I went out and paid for the Xbox because I'm a huge fan and I wanted to get a new system off the bat. So I budgeted my money right, picked out what I wanted, went with the Xbox because I knew I'm an Xbox fan, and it's not because of the system itself or the games, because they do have different.
Come on,
games.
it's because of the games.
Well, I like Halo and stuff like that, and Gears of War, but there's no. I mean, there's going to be a Halo game because they showed a preview for it.
Yeah.
But like, there may not be a Gears, stuff like that. But what they have is the online market, where I love it so much that I know how good it is and how they back their systems. Where let alone just for the release of the title, they set aside 300,000 servers just for day one. And just keep building from there. So really, I know how their system works, and I know how like the media works between each other. I love the style of controller because it fits so much better in my hand. I'm a bigger guy, so filling a big controller in my hand is much better. And I know the PS4 controllers feels a little better because I play yours.
Yeah.
Because like the PS3 controller, man, like it feels like I could just grab an NES controller because that's how small it always feels in my hand.
Well, and it was the DualShock, 2 and 3 were so much more angular, and just there's more curvature. Sounds like a weird word to use, but it's just a little more round, a softer feel in your hands. And
what you really have to do though is like what I did with mine. I picked up both controllers in my hand at the same time, so I have the Xbox 360 controller and the Xbox One controller, and I was just pushing the buttons and feeling. You could feel a difference. They're softer, like there's more twitch to them, so like I guess you can move them, but like it's like triggers itself even. Like you click one, the Xbox controller, it clicks. It sounds like a click. It goes click, click. This one is like no sound to it. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's so quiet.
Boom is still a sound.
Yeah, but not like a huge click. It's just you could, and it's not even like the sound. It's just I can feel it bump at the end. There's like no sound from the trigger.
Well, and I know, I think aren't the triggers now kind of have force feedback in them
and playing a game
one control?
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, playing a game like when you get shot and you can feel it move, or when you're firing it, you can feel it kick back and forth. It's really cool. And like the joysticks up here move.
That's one thing that's funny too is people talk about Nintendo. Oh, they're falling out of relevancy. When we're talking about 2014, that's what I want to see. I want Nintendo to still be relevant. Is Bayonetta 2 going to come out?
Oh, it is coming out for just Nintendo. Though.
Yeah, but
people are pissed.
Just like everything else, it's going to probably have a window of exclusivity, and then it'll eventually go somewhere else. But what's funny is that Nintendo always, they're the people trying the new things, so the other companies then they copy it.
Yeah.
Think about who is like,
well, here,
I'm going to spend
first before you talk about
$25
that,
on a Rumble Pack?
Yeah, first start with that, I want to say, Bayonetta, though, I just watched something recently that they actually stated, the guy said, the creator, that he was not making a port for any other system. It was basically just Nintendo, and like the other guys were talking about it like that were doing the video, said how Nintendo like keeps their exclusivity on a lot of games. That means that if they have exclusivity, they're not ever letting that come. So people love Bayonetta. So
yeah, but they had exclusivity on Resident Evil.
Yeah, but
Capcom, how long did that last?
Yeah, a long time actually, right?
Not really. I mean, because it was what came out on.
Well, yeah, because first
Resident
it was PlayStation,
4.
right? It was PlayStation.
Yeah,
so
PlayStation or 1 through 3 and what was that? There was a game in there too.
4, but then they ported the same game over to the Wii.
No, 4 was the first one
on the
GameCube, and then they ported it to like everything else.
Yeah,
because Nemesis 3 was on PlayStation. I think Code Veronica went to Dreamcast, and that was one of the best Resident Evil games, I'd say. And then 4 went to GameCube.
Now back to your other thing, how like you're saying like Nintendo is they make everything first, and everybody copies them. You can say the Rumbles on the system came out first. The wireless controllers came out first for Nintendo.
Did they?
Yeah, PlayStation 1 had a wired controller.
Well, yeah, I know
PlayStation
that.
2 at first had it wasn't until the Wavered Wireless came out that they actually had a wired wireless
Yeah,
controller.
well, and that wasn't Nintendo. That was just a really, really good third-party controller.
Yeah, but it was basically Nintendo only. Had Nintendo printed right on it, Nintendo printed their logo right on it. So really, it was their system.
Yeah, the Waveburger was awesome.
Yeah, it was the best controller ever.
And then,
like, people hated the little
especially
stickers.
now. So the Wii U comes out. You've got this gamepad with a second screen, if you will. And now what? Microsoft's doing smart glass. Sony has their app where you can use your phone or your tablet as a second screen.
It's the same thing as smart glass. That's
Right.
what their Sony's is too.
Right, but that's my point, is that Nintendo did it first. They just built it into the controller, so you don't have to worry about compatibility. Or that's like when the iFruit app came out, when GTA Online launched. It's like, oh, you can get this app for your iPhone. So we're sitting here with our Samsungs, and we're like, oh, that would be cool. We could teach a dog tricks or whatever, or like customize our cars.
Yeah, that's
except we
can't.
can't.
And then when it did come out, right? So it did come out.
Yeah, I never even downloaded it. So I was already done with the story.
I was done with the story, but it was basically I downloaded it because I wanted it for the online, so I could get a custom license plate. To this day, I bought the custom license plate on my phone, did everything. To this day, I still do not have a custom license plate. I can go inside.
It doesn't sync or something?
I can go in Los Santos Custom. It says I ordered it. It's got my cars. I can update my cars or something on the app. I go into the customs place. I come out. I still can't get the license plate. And I had Jeebus. It was awesome. I had the Jeebus license plate. Now I just can't get it. I don't know why.
They don't want you to have it.
I'm looking forward though to
the Division.
Titanfall Division.
And Titanfall is an Xbox exclusive?
Xbox exclusive, and then after it'll come out to PC, it says.
Yeah.
But it's going to be 360, and it's going to be Xbox One. So, of course, I'm getting it for Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because it kind of reminds me of a mix between, like, Mirror's Edge and Call of Duty with giant robots, which anything with giant robots is awesome.
Yeah. And, yeah, the Division that we were kind of talking about before looks great. Yeah. I always like the
light physics, the particle physics, everything looks brilliant in that game.
Yeah, I like any of those games where it's like, oh, the world is totally messed up. Like, so this epidemic hits New York and you're scouring New York for I don't even know what. I just watched a trailer and it was awesome.
Yeah, I want to also play Destiny, but I don't know if I'll pre-order it so I can get the beta, because I know a lot of people got the beta, and like a lot of the gaming companies, like, I'm not even talking like a video game company where you work for a company that does like video game reviews, this and that. I'm talking about like GameStop and those type of places got free betas just to play.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll want to be with those type of people. But I want to play it eventually, so.
Yeah. It's funny because Bungie is making Destiny, right? And it's going to be on PS4, Xbox One. PS3. And I think the current...
Yeah, like PS3 and...
Yeah, now old gen.
Wait, it's going to be PC too? Because I don't know stuff for PC.
But... It's funny to me because you can call it Destiny, but basically, you know, it's a damn Halo game.
Except for they don't have, like, deathmatch multiplayer, stuff like that. Capture the flag. It's all...
Oh, right, because it's, like, just kind of a persistent open world.
Yeah, and you can jump in and jump out wherever you want and, like, play with friends if they're in playing something, and you'll basically come in if, like... And the cool thing I seen about it was a group of people were playing. It was, like, 3 or 4 people, and they were coming up to, like, this big boss, which is, like, a big giant mech robot, like, walking on 4. And they were going to fight it. But there was another group that was about to fight it too, so it linked both groups together to fight against this one beast. And after they were done, their group just split off and went by themselves. So I don't know if you could do PvP and hurt each other, or if it was just you guys versus the big robot.
There's probably a setting in there for sure.
I mean, if it's really good and, you know, they want to do multiplayer, they'll probably come out with something like a deathmatch, like Halo type style, and people will love it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's customized well, like it's been. Because there's a couple different races you get to pick in the game and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what else? You know, I was looking at some of the new... There's a bunch of old games I still want to play. I still haven't played Bioshock Infinite.
Played through that, it's amazing.
I still want to play Last of Us. Which, you know, of course, another thing where the whole world is messed up and you have to figure out or help somebody do something.
I wanted to play that, but then when I got the email from Best Buy that they were giving $100 for each console. Of course, I traded my PS3 and one of my Xboxes.
Yeah.
So I got $200 off the new Xbox One. So really, I didn't pay that much for it, and I got 2 games. So really, I walked away ahead.
Last of Us and Beyond. 2 Souls from the makers of Heavy Rain. You know.
But did you also see there's multiple screens for that too if you use your phone? You can play like the game as your phone, because Beyond 2 Souls, the storyline is where you're...
So you're going to ruin it for him.
No, because this is like, you learn this in the beginning.
Yeah.
When you're the girl character, she has a ghost that follows her around or
yeah,
something like
it's
that.
like a psychic link.
Yeah.
Thing.
And you switch between the two, but you can actually use your phone to play as one and someone else can play as the other or something like that while you're playing the same game.
That's cool.
But like, because there's certain parts where you have to be the ghost to do stuff and it tells what to do. So like, he says you can actually link the two together and play dual, like multiplayer type of thing.
And I mean, there's so much that I have to play now. I'll wait till it's like $20
Yeah.
or something.
Then they got the new Street Fighter game coming out.
Oh, like the Ultra Street Fighter 4 edition.
I'm waiting for Street Fighter 5 because they keep promising this, so I want to see that. They showed the new Tekken preview.
How long did it take between Street Fighter 3, which nobody played, and Street Fighter 4?
Oh, wow.
I mean, really, it was... And, you know, I didn't really care. You know, everyone played, like, Super Street Fighter 2, and nobody cared about Street Fighter 3 unless you were, like, one of those guys that would win all those fighting competitions all
Built
over.
your own controller like Jesse.
Yeah. And, I remember seeing all the news about Street Fighter 4, and, you know, it's the nostalgia thing kicks in. And I think it's because of our age. We pretty much had video games since we were, like, 5, 6 years old. So, I mean, I was playing Street Fighter 2, like, at the roller rink, people putting their quarters up, you know?
The movie arcade in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
And everything around here had, like, an arcade set up. We used to play everything everywhere. Even the mall had Sega's Time Out where you could go there and play all that crap.
Yeah. And then it's funny because when I worked at Barnes & Noble, there was a girl that worked there who, I forget if she did, but I know her husband worked for Namco because Namco bought like all the timeouts, so that was there. Like they were there.
Yeah, it became
or like
Namco.
Aladdin's Castle, I think, was also owned by Namco.
I think it might have been closer to the end, and then they died out real fast.
And you know, it would be really cool. And I know, like New York, I want to say in Brooklyn, there's a place called Barcade where you go and you drink like shitty old beer, like old style, and just play old arcade games. You know, like Centipede. And
See, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I mean, they do have a couple new ones here, like 42 Lounge, where you go and play video games because they have Xboxes hooked up, Wii U's hooked up, and that's cool. But you still don't have the giant cabinet.
Yeah, and then what would be cool is something like that, because it's not that expensive to buy an old cabinet. It's probably a bitch to service it.
Yeah, and it's a bitch to get them delivered because usually you got to buy them from like places in like Texas or something like that. Because I tried to order one once and it was like $500 for just shipping or something like that, and it was like $200 for the unit. I was buying like Afterburner or something. Yeah, and then they texted me back or something like that saying that they ran out of stock on that one if I wanted a different game because I really wanted Donkey Kong. They didn't have any Donkey Kongs.
You know, and what we almost could probably do, really, because we could probably just build an arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah, they do that
paint
now.
It, and then all you need really is some like an emulator running, and then you can just select the game.
Tablets or something like that.
But it's not the same.
No.
You know, and
I've
you could take like an old arcade cabinet and somehow put like cup holders on the side.
Well, even like at the State Fair and stuff, they do the big arcade sales and stuff like that. I never went to them, but I always wanted to. And I know like my uncle used to work for an arcade company because when he quit, like when we were younger, he had like Turtles and stuff, so we'd be at my cousin's house playing Turtles in like their house, big arcade unit.
Oh yeah.
And then when he quit and went to another job, they gave him a going away present. They gave him Jerry Glanville's Pigskin Football, which is like you're like orcs and like
I remember that
swords and axes playing football. It was great. And like he got another game from my other uncle. He had that for like ever, Space Invaders. Like I remember being like 5, 6 years old and this game was in their basement all the time and play Space Invaders. Like it was a great game.
And a friend of mine, her stepdad, he's got a pinball game in their basement, and it's I forget the name of it, but it's like an Irish bar fight pinball game. So it's like, you know, you get the special thing, and then the little video screen pops up, and it's like 2 Irish guys beating the shit out of each other.
I always love pinball.
Yeah.
Yet I never download them on any game. Because they have like them on
FX
pinball
again,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like the Zen Pinball, I think, they just brought that out on PS4, and it's like, you know, I could download that. I have like a bunch of credits sitting around, and I was like, you know, it's not the same as hitting the flippers, and you kind of feel the machine.
Yeah, it's never the same.
It's totally different.
You know what I mean? Even when my mom and them owned a bar, they had all their arcade games there. I would just sit and play all the time, just pinball and stuff like that. I don't remember what one we even had there.
Yeah, and I know, when we used to go to the bowling alley, my stepdad would bowl, and they had, I forget the pinball game. It was something like robot or like space related, and they had Street Fighter 1, talking about Street Fighter, where you could only play as Ryu or Ken, and I mean, like a couple other games, probably like a racing game, but like I remember playing Street Fighter 1, and we would all just like sit and be punching and kicking each other, and then all of a sudden someone, like, you see like a guy shot fire out of his hands, and you're like, Holy shit! And then like now Street Fighter 2, it's like all based on special moves and
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, that's like back in the day. That's even how I got good at like everything else: darts, pool, freaking foosball. Even like in my mom's bar, she had the little claw machine. I used to freaking like rob that machine blind. So take me 1/4, I'd get like 2 things every time. Like one thing, everyone's like, "How'd you get that?" I'm like, I don't know. I just got real good at it, real simple.
Yeah, it's hey, grow up in a bar. It's not too bad.
No, well,
cheers to that.
It's a restaurant bar. Big hall was nice. Got to play video games. My grandma owned a bar. They had stuff there. You know, pool.
What else is coming out? You know, one of the things I see that was really been hyped is that game for the PS4 game. It's called The Order 1886.
Yeah,
I watched a preview for it. It doesn't. To me, it looks like a first-person shooter. You're trying to make it like, I don't know, steampunk or something. It seems kind of lame to me.
Like, I watched the first preview and it was really cool looking, and then all of a sudden, the second preview, they actually show like little gameplay footage where he pulls out the steampunk pistol and then the rifle and the bazooka, and that's where it's like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, and you thought it was like a history-based game, and all of a sudden they're fighting werewolves, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of wanted a history-based game, because, you know, like, you were thinking that's a history-based game, and then Rome is a history-based game, you know, for Xbox, and comparing the two, no, Order is completely different.
When they had, like, the cinematic, and they were, like, in the carriage talking about whatever, I was like, alright, so what's this going to do? I thought maybe it would be, like, puzzles, or some sort of more adventure, but it looks like just a straight action game. Whatever.
Yeah. What they need to re-release is a brand new Yoshi's Cookie.
I don't know that I ever played Yoshi's Cookie.
Yoshi's Cookie's the puzzle game?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't think I ever played it.
Didn't you have it? Or Alex had the special edition that had, what's the other puzzle game on the other side of it that we played a whole crapload of?
Oh, it wasn't the thing with Tetris Attack.
Yeah, Tetris Attack and Yoshi's Cookie.
Why would I play another game aside from Tetris Attack?
Because they were the same game. We played both of them at the same time. You play one, play the other. It was
God,
2 games on one. Tetris Attack.
Tetris Attack really, aside from Tetris, it's got to be the best puzzle game ever.
Yeah. Yoshi's Cookie was fun too. It was the same thing. You just had to flip the cookies and everything and move around. For all the people now who play Candy Crush and all that, that's where that originated from. Really, you gotta think about it. And I mean, even the guy who created Tetris created Hexic for the Xbox. So there you go.
What's another? Of course, you know, Infamous.
Yeah, that looks good. I would buy the system probably just for that.
The thing, speaking about 2014, things I want to see. We really, how much farther can a system go with graphics?
Yeah,
I think it's fine. You know, and graphics don't necessarily make the game. Just look at games as simple as like The Walking Dead. There's nothing groundbreaking happening there in the way of graphics.
It's not even that. Look at Limbo.
Right.
It's black and white, simple graphics.
Yeah. And that was one of my favorite games.
It looks so crisp.
Whatever year that was, that was one of my top games.
There was a new one where it actually, like, you can run into, like, different things where it's, like, light and dark. You can run into shadows, back out. There's a new one like that, too, I see. I can't remember what it's called.
One of the free games on the PS4, there was Resogun and then the game Contrast.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what it is, Contrast.
It's set in...
you could get that on Xbox, too, Contrast on Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, someone told me it
was. I thought it was a PS4 exclusive.
I think it was on 360. It's not an Xbox One.
But yeah,
it's an older game.
So yeah, you kind of can run and you can like kind of meld into the shadows. You're like this girl's imaginary friend or something.
You can go through the shadow world and regular world back and forth.
Yeah.
I was watching that.
But yeah, so I really put all the processing power towards story.
Yeah.
You know, and we've seen like even Heavy Rain when that came out. You know, a lot of detail in the characters' faces, emotion is conveyed.
Yeah.
And even you don't need the graphics to do it because one of the top games on a lot of people's list, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It was just a $20 episodic series.
Yeah. That's
where you're so attached to this character, and really, it was very intense. I mean,
yeah.
I loved it. I know you didn't play it. I don't know why.
Because, you know, like, I got Walking Dead out when I was younger. And, like, the show came out and everything, and everyone loved it. And it's like, man, I read The Walking Dead when I was younger. I even still downloaded The Walking Dead on my phone. Like, not the movie, but, like, the comic books.
That's good to advocate piracy on that podcast.
No, they were free. They were free through the Google Play Store. So I did, like, the first one, and then, like a while back, they did a different couple issues. So I downloaded those couple other issues that were free of comics. And, like, I still haven't even gone back to read them again. Like, I want to read them because I read them so long ago. Like, when we were in high school when they first came out, whatever it was.
Well, that's what's crazy, too, is they've been out so long, and now the show is, like, I wonder if the show will catch up to the comics, or will they stop the show? Because how long are the comics going to go on? The storyline's great right now.
It was weird because like when the storyline was jumping in out of order, like I watched the first couple episodes, everything kind of seemed out of sync, but it was still happening. Like the same things were happening, just out of order. It just kind of flew me, and I just didn't want to watch it.
And they flipped, they
and then I had to go
put
back.
it on different characters too.
And then when they invited the Asian girl back with the katanas, she was a little different in the
Asian
TV show.
Girl.
Was she Asian in the comic? Isn't she?
No,
I haven't seen her. The one that carries the zombie on her back in the comic.
Yeah,
she actually didn't carry
that's Michonne.
Yeah, but she didn't carry the zombies
she's just like
on
a
the TV
black
show.
lady.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what she was because I read it. But like in the TV show, because I went back to watch it because I heard she was coming out, and she was my favorite character. She was just had him on a chain. I'm like, man, that kind of defeats the purpose. She actually had him pulled his teeth out, cut his arms and legs off because that way he couldn't attack her.
Yeah, but the thing is, something like that, who cares?
Well, I mean, you could have did it. You could have made a fake body and made her carry his backpack.
But you could have done a lot, but it's... I think we were kind of talking about this the other day, too, where you can't take everything from a book or a comic or anything like that and directly translate it to a movie.
No.
A great example would be like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings books were great. The Lord of the Rings movies were great. Did they have were the movies the exact same as the books?
No.
No. They left out some stuff. They changed some stuff.
They left out
like
a few
with
things.
The Hobbit now, they're adding a character.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see the new...
No,
the
but I heard everything they
installment.
added, which was with Legolas. Like, they mentioned Legolas in the book. Remember, you read the book, right?
Yeah.
So they mentioned
I
him
read
for a
all those
little
books
bit.
so long ago.
And they mentioned, like, the girl. Because basically it was putting him in there to show that the world was connected in the book, really. So you put him in there for a second, and then, like, all of a sudden in the movie, he's, like, in a lot of the movie, and he does the same, like, brilliant
Well, that's because they want
fighting
to bring...
scenes.
They want to bring people to the theater.
Yeah.
And what better to do that than a pretty boy?
Yeah. So Lord of the Rings coming out. That's, we're all anticipating that. Brings us to other movies that are coming out this year, like comic book movies.
Yeah. Are there too many comic book movies?
I don't feel there is yet. I feel like comics are just so great. I mean, it's action movies, it's love stories, it's everything, It combines a girl's story with a guy's story, so the girls would want to see the love story between Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
Come on, they want to see the dudes.
Well, they will. But
and kind of like we want to see them.
Yeah, so like I said, you got Spider-Man, the new Amazing Spider-Man coming out, X-Men, Days of
Which is
Future.
like the reverse Avengers, because they're trying to pack so many villains in there.
And then they talk about how they're doing extra villain movies after that. They're going to do Venom. They're going to do the Sinister Six movies, which I'm excited to see that because I really do like Venom and stuff like that. He's one of my favorite characters. Then we brings us to other Marvel movies that are coming out. They're going to do Ant-Man. They already did The Dark World with Thor, so that'll bring us to the new Avengers movie and Guardians of the Galaxy. Which,
and I don't remember, is Joss Whedon doing the second Avengers movie?
Yes, he is. Yeah. And
I think he did a great job with the first one.
They're also building a lot better world with also doing Netflix TV series.
Daredevil. Was there like four different series?
I think they're doing Daredevil, Power Man, a couple other ones. Maybe Deadpool, I'm not sure. I can't remember what they all were. And, like, DC's trying to do the same thing, so they'll come out with the Superman-Batman movie. They're going to add so much to that, I think that's going to fry that system. Because they're going to do Wonder Woman, try to get the Flash in there, I hear. Maybe Doomsday, bring in the death of Superman.
They are doing, like, a Batman vs. Superman movie, right?
It's not so much Batman vs. Superman. It will if it's the Doomsday this saga where Superman dies, he comes back, he thinks he's, like, the son of Doomsday, and he's controlled by, like, Red Krypton or Kryptonite or whatever, and decides that he's evil, and Batman has to defeat him. But they're saying they're going to have Wonder Woman there. She's played by Gail Gadget, or Gadget, or whatever her name is. She was in Fast and Furious.
Oh.
And that's about it. You got a bunch of those movies coming out. Looking forward to all that.
Yeah.
Brings us to...
What else is... I mean, of course, by the end of next year, we'll see that third... Speaking of Lord of the Rings and stuff, the third Hobbit movie will be out, so hopefully we'll see, like, the full-on CG, like, awesome smog stuff, and, like, the, what is it, the Battle of the Five races?
And I'm wondering...
What is it?
The
Battle
Five
of Five...
Rings. I'm wondering...
5 rings.
Well, yeah, because each king had their own ring, that's what it really comes down to.
But it's not the king, because it was, like, wasn't it, like, the humans, the dwarves, the orcs...
Well, they end up...
War. It was like the 5 different races or factions. There was like a big war at the end.
There's a big war in the middle, or close to the end of the book. I don't know if it's close to because like...
Do I have them all confused?
I know, like, at one point, they'll have the end of Smog, entails in like what I remember reading and what I've seen in the cartoon parts.
Yeah.
Of like the old story from like the 70s when he dies and how they'll come that about. That'll be cool to see. And then you'll have, that's what, you know, like, I don't really know too much of other movies that are coming up that look really, really good for the future. They did also just release the preview for this year of the new Planet of the Apes movie, which actually looks really good.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go look at the trailer yet.
And then, like, I mean, they're just remaking a bunch of other movies like that. Godzilla. It looks really good.
That
Hopefully
new preview looks really cool. I'm going to have to give a shout out to Patrick right here because I remember when the... I forget what they called it, but someone leaked a trailer before the one that's out now with kind of like those the military guys like
coming down,
dropping down, and it looks like that red rain. Really visually striking. But the trailer that Patrick showed me was just so desolate and bleak, and I was like, this is completely different. I think they could take it somewhere really cool. I mean, and I'm sure Patrick. Yeah. If you're watching this, which you probably, hopefully are, we should go see that movie. Yeah, I mean, together because you're gonna. He's like the aficionado. He like has every Godzilla movie.
At the end though, where you still hear him scream like Godzilla scream at the end of the preview, that was just amazing. Yeah. And then what other movie? What other thing is they're talking about for a while that I'm hoping comes out next year? I'm not sure when it's coming out. Is the Dark Justice League movie, which seems to be progressing. Guillermo del Toro is going to direct it and write it.
Well, that should be good.
His house is going to do all the special effects, so it'll be Swamp Thing special effects, which should look amazing. If anybody's seen Pan's Labyrinth, the stuff out of that, his character creation, stuff like that, build, will just look brilliant. Then you'll have Constantine in there, so they'll probably, I don't know if they're going to end up bringing back Keanu Reeves as Constantine or not, so. Whoa. Can't complain. Keanu Reeves has been in a bunch of great movies. Yeah. Ronin 47 looks really good.
Oh, I didn't see.
You didn't see the preview for that yet? No. It's basically the story of the 47 samurai who were left to fight against like the mystical creatures at the end with like the dragon and stuff like that. The preview looks so good. Yeah. And like he's half. They bring Keanu Reeves because of the story of him is he's half American, half Japanese, and like they kicked him out of like his American culture, and the Japanese picked him up. Or whatever the samurais do. It looks really good though.
So enough about what we see. Yeah. What we want everyone else to do in 2014. What do we want to do? Some kind of monkeys, 2014. We need a game plan.
Yeah, game plan is make lots of better, not better because we do really great content, but really more content.
Yeah, we'd like to think so. So, I mean, comment, tell us if we're doing shitty.
More shorts.
Please tell us. We've got that whole book of skits that we really need to get on. We need to get some better equipment so we can film stuff on the go and out on the town. And
maybe do like a live recording somewhere, like not put it live feed, but at least have people in an audience or something like that. Yeah, 16 people are friends.
Believe it or not, this is the 85th time we've tried to record this podcast.
Yeah, everything. So, we just keep stopping here. We need better equipment. I've been saying that for a long time. Yeah. Kickstart it. I keep saying we're going to kickstart something.
Yeah, so our 16 followers, if you each give us $1, we still need a shitload of money to get this done.
Actually, Kickstarter, though, a lot of people just go on Kickstarter and donate money to people who they think is good.
Like, yeah, but we need to have something to offer them, aside from our beautiful voices and content.
Better content. That's what Freddie Wong did, and man, his ideas were great. Like, he basically had the ideas. He was like, if you want us to make better videos, better this and that, we're going to Kickstart it, and you're going to, if you give us money, we will come out with better content for it.
Well, we don't want to turn this into an ad.
No, not for
anyway.
But, you know.
What else? We want to be able to
drink more.
Just do more of this regular scheduled podcast, regular scheduled sort of
maybe
playtime. Like, so we'll have a regular GTA Online day. Yeah. Is going to be Thursday, for instance, and we'll just every Thursday you can count on us being on. We need to start recruiting for the crew, some kind of monkeys crew on GTA Online.
We need to start recording actual gameplay footage and putting it on YouTube, which
I got that Twitch account for us, so we can do some streaming stuff too.
We need to get my other ideas going, like our Frag This Game, which we have for Danny, so we're gonna make him play some.
My brother, which he's gonna be in here next year. You'll see him, Danny. He's
a super
one
nice
of my favorite my favorite fucking guys on the planet.
But
really.
he is a total rage video game player where he'll just get pissed and
we all get there.
You get there sometimes, like especially when you were playing Modern Warfare and stuff, you would just scream. I could hear you over the headset, but Danny screams all the time when he plays like any type of game, and it's so great because I just want him to play. Like I'm gonna find the shittiest game ever. So if you know shitty games and you want to send
Alone
me
in the Dark,
the links,
but it's not online.
We'll make him play like for 5 minutes just to play like kick this soccer ball in here, do this, do that, you know. Just something stupid enough where he'll get so pissed where he has to quit the game. That's all I want. Is just record that. Give him a couple beers.
We'll get there. Yeah. So yeah, we want to have more guests. I mean, you're going to see us every time. Yeah. You're probably sick of seeing Sean. Who knows? We'll get some of our other friends in here.
Yeah. More friends. Us two are always going to be here. So more of those people. Maybe more of us going about town doing things like going to the mall, playing bowling.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do at the mall?
We're going to wear monkey masks and we're going to go shopping. That's my idea.
For tuxedo?
Sweet.
So yeah, stay tuned. 2014 should be even better than 2013. We only really had a half a year to do this, and we've come this far, which, I mean...
We've only been filming for like 3 months.
Call it what you will.
So really, we've been pretty good.
2014, hopefully, we can dedicate a lot more time and resources to this.
More people finding out about us.
We love it. We hope you love it. And we love that you do love it. So do that.
I think you almost got lost there.
Yeah. You know, it's after 2 old styles. Well, this is take 85, so after 150 old styles, kind of gets that way.
Me's the worst.
Really, so until 2014, whatever holiday you celebrate something. Even if you don't celebrate a holiday, celebrate anything you want until the end of the year. Have a good New Year, and wait,
call it New Beer's Eve. Everybody get some new beer, drink it. New Beer's Eve.
New Beer's Eve. That sounds great.
That's my new idea for the year. New Beer's Eve.
How many new beers do you want to try? Just on New Beer's Eve.
Just New Beer's Eve? At least 10.
At least 10.
At least 10 new beers on New Beer's Eve.
Thankfully, I don't have to work. This guy will be at work. I'm going to go shop bingo.
The next day.
I'm going to go shop bingo loud as shit. I'm not even going to have bingo. I'm just going to go yell it at you.
I'm just going to stand there and look at you.
Maybe I'll film. Maybe I'll bring the camera.
You can actually film in the casino now.
Yeah.
They let you. So that's good.
So yes, please go celebrate safely. And remember, we're some kind of monkeys and so are you.
Good game.